Hi friends, this is Vicki with Grandma Vicki Crafts. Today I thought I'd show you how I made my cute little Mrs. Claus. She's about 4.5 inches high when she's sitting on her little bottom up to the top of her hat. So she's not very big, but she can be used as a tree stuffer or just a little ornament sitting around your home. So the supplies that we're using to make our Mrs. Claus are muslin. I used 5-inch circle for her head, and again the muslin for her little hands, 2.5-inch circles, 2 each. For her body, this time I'm using a polyester. I did use a velveteen on this one, so today I'm going to use this material. And this is a 6.5-inch circle. And then for her little feet, I'm also using just a little polyester. I used a fleece on this one, and I thought I'd try this today. So her feet are 3-inch circles. Then her little hat, I cut out the same size as her face, which was a 5-inch circle. And then with that, we're going to need a little lace to go around her hat, and a little thinner lace to go around her neck. I put a little pearl on her nose. So I used some yarn for her hair, and for her little face, we used some black paint and some white paint for her eyes, and some blush and a little cotton swab just to put the little blush on her cheeks. And we're going to need thread, black thread, white thread, and red thread, and some fiber fill. So I think that is about all of our supplies. So let's get started. So we're going to start with the piece for her body. So we need a needle and thread, and we're just going to go into the material and pull it through, make a little knot there, and then you're just going to go all around the edge of your material in a running stitch so that we can gather this all together when we're through. And each piece is actually done in this manner. So we'll just go along here and pull this through. And so then you'll see that it's going to gather it up. So once we get all the way around doing that, then we're going to stuff it. So now that I've got this stitched all the way around and it's all gathered, see if you can see that, but it's gathered. Now we're going to stuff it with some of our polyfill. So we want to stuff it so that it's nice and firm, because this is her little body. And you leave your needle, leaving your needle and thread attached as well. So you can pull it and shape it as you go along here. We want her to have a nice little body. And then I went ahead and I did the same thing, gathering around for the little foot. And I've left it open and the needle attached too. We're going to stuff that, and the same for her little face. So they're all done in the same manner. And once you think that you've got it stuffed well enough, then we'll sew it up together here with our needle and thread attached. I think we'll line a little bit fuller here. There we go. So we'll pull it tight and it'll look like that. And then we'll just use our needle and thread and stitch that together here. So there we have her little body sewn up and her little head sewn up. So when we put her together, the part that you've sewn will be on the upside, and her little head, the part that you've sewn, will be on the back side, and you're going to glue that together with your hot glue. Then I've got one little foot done. You're going to glue the sewn side of your little foot, the part with the seam. You're going to glue it on there, and we're going to do the same thing with the other foot next to it. I have sewn up one little arm, and I've done it all in the same manner where you gather it all around, but I want to show you now how we're going to make the little ripple effect in her arms here. So what we're going to do with our thread still attached, I'm going to come around to the front and I'm going to go through and pull that together and back around and through the back and pull that together tight, and then you're going to have that for her little arm. And then you're going to stitch it up tight, close it off, and you're going to do that for the same arm as this one, and then I'll show you where they are attached. So here she is so far. I have her head glued onto her little body, and I put her feet on her little body, and I've attached her little hands to her little body. So now we're just going to work on her hat, and it's the same way. We're just gathering along as we go, and it's at about 1/4 of an inch in from the outside all the way around. So now I've got the hat gathered around. I'm going to make our little Mrs. Claus some hair. So I'm using some yarn, and I'm just going around my 2 fingers about 6 times. And then I'm cutting off a length, and we're just gonna put that around the middle and tie it off. And then we'll take the glue gun and we'll glue it to her head, all around her head. We'll cut off the excess yarn. So then we have little bundles, and I'm going to go now and glue these little bundles all around her head and at the back. So here she is so far. I've got her hair on her the way I like it, and I've just put a few little bundles around the front and down the side and around at the back where it's going to show. Now, I've just put a pin in the top of the hat to hold it on, because I'm going to put some fiber fill in the back because I didn't put hair in the middle, and I'll put some fiber fill in the back just to make the hat poof out. And then with my needle and thread that is still attached, once I have it all in place, and I'll take that little pin out, then I'm going to stitch this around and attach it to her head. And now that I have her little hat sewn on and attached to her head, I just sewed it in a few places to attach it to her little head. I now have taken my lace with my needle and thread and I have gathered it around. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the back and I'm going to just glue this down and all the way around and attach the lace to the top of her little hat. So that's what she'll look like. Now I've just stuck little pins in to show where her eyes and her nose will be, and we'll do that part next. So I glued the little trim around her hat now, so there we have the trim on her hat. And I also went ahead and I glued my little pearl just on for her nose. And now we're going to make her eyes. So what we're going to do is, if you have anything that has a flat bottom on it, then all I do is I dip it in the lid of my black paint, and I'll maybe try it out once on the paper to be sure that that's how it is that I want it, and then I'm going to just dab it on for her eye. So there's one eye. So there's the black of her little eyes. Then I just take a little straight pin and I use the end of that for the white part for her little eyes, and I just give her a couple of little dots. For the whites of her eyes. And then I just have a little Sharpie marker to make her little eyelashes. And there we have her little eyelashes. And I also use the Sharpie just for her little mouth. And there she is. Isn't she cute? So that's about it, other than her rosy cheeks. So we'll do that next. So to rosy up her cheeks, I just took a little bit of blush on my little Q-tip, and I'm just going to rosy up the sides of her cheeks. And there she is. And I think she's so cute. Anyhow, we have our two little Mrs. Clauses. Now, if you like this video, I know it was long, but it's really well worth it in the end because they are such a cute little ornament. If you like it, please share with your friends and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye now.